Hey, Taurus. I need to sit down and share this reading with you because what came through today is honestly quite revealing about someone from your past. I shuffled my deck with your energy in mind, and the cards that appeared really tell a complete story about this person's current situation and why they might be reaching out or crossing your mind lately. So I laid out the cards, and immediately I could feel this heavy energy around someone who used to be significant in your life. This could be an ex-partner, a former friend, or even a family member you had to distance yourself from. The energy is very specific, though, and I think you will know exactly who this is by the time we finish this reading. Let me start with the first card I pulled, which is the Devil. And honestly, Taurus, this card came out with such intensity. When I see the Devil in a reading about someone from your past, it usually speaks to patterns of toxicity, unhealthy attachments, and behaviors that kept both people trapped in cycles that were not serving anyone. This person I am seeing here was deeply involved in some patterns that were self-destructive, and they likely pulled you into that energy as well during the time you were connected. What stands out to me about the Devil energy right now is that this person has not actually freed themselves from these patterns. You know how sometimes we think people change or grow after a relationship ends? This person has actually gone deeper into whatever issues they were dealing with. I'm talking about someone who might have problems with control, manipulation, or even substance-related issues. The Devil can represent addictions of all kinds, whether that is to substances, to attention, to drama, to controlling others, or even to a lifestyle that looks good on the surface but is actually hollow underneath. The energy I am picking up is that this person is still living in that same toxic pattern. They have not done the work. They have not looked in the mirror. They have not taken accountability for their actions or the way they treated people, including you. Instead, they just moved on to the next situation and tried to recreate whatever they had before, but it is not working out the way they thought it would. There is this sense of them being stuck in their own prison, but the prison is one they built themselves through their choices and refusal to grow. I also want to mention that the Devil can represent someone who presents a very different image to the world than who they actually are behind closed doors. So this could be someone who has a carefully curated social media presence or who tells everyone their life is amazing, but the reality is very different. They might be posting pictures that make it seem like everything is perfect, but underneath that surface there is chaos and instability. The mask is starting to crack, Taurus, and people are beginning to see through it. Now, the second card that came out is the Moon, and this adds another layer to what is happening with this person. The Moon represents illusion, confusion, deception, and things that are hidden in the shadows. When I see the Moon in combination with the Devil, it tells me that this person has been living in a state of delusion about their own life and circumstances. They have been telling themselves stories that are not true. They have been avoiding reality and hiding from the consequences of their actions. The Moon energy suggests that this person has been keeping secrets, or that there are things about their situation that are not what they appear to be on the surface. Maybe they have been lying to people about their financial situation or their relationship status or where they are living. There is something they are trying to hide because they are ashamed or because they know the truth would damage the image they are trying to maintain. I feel like this person might have been pretending to be doing really well when actually they are struggling quite a bit. What is interesting about the Moon in this position is that it also represents anxiety and fear. This person is dealing with a lot of internal turmoil right now. They might be having trouble sleeping, or they could be experiencing anxiety about their future because deep down they know things are not sustainable the way they are going. The Moon can indicate someone who is haunted by their past actions and decisions. They might be having moments where they lie awake at night and think about everything they lost, including their connection with you, but they are too proud or too stuck in their ways to actually do anything meaningful about it. The Moon is also telling me that this person surrounded themselves with the wrong people or got involved in situations that looked appealing but turned out to be illusions. Maybe they jumped into a new relationship really quickly after you and it seemed great at first, but now they are realizing that person is not who they thought they were. Or maybe they made some life decisions that seemed exciting and promising, but the reality has not lived up to what they imagined. There is a lot of disappointment and disillusionment in their energy right now. The third card I pulled is Five of Wands in Taurus. This card is showing me straight up conflict and struggle in this person's current reality. Five of Wands represents competition, arguments, tension, and people who are constantly fighting or defending themselves. This tells me that this person's life right now is full of drama and disagreements. They are probably arguing with multiple people in their life. Maybe they are fighting with roommates or family members or new romantic interests. There is just this constant state of friction and discord around them. What Five of Wands often indicates is that this person is creating their own problems through their combative attitude and inability to get along with others. They might be the type who always thinks they are right and everyone else is wrong. They could be argumentative and defensive and unwilling to compromise or see other perspectives. This energy pushes people away. Nobody wants to be around someone who turns everything into a battle or makes simple situations complicated and stressful. I am also getting that this person might be dealing with competition or comparison issues. Maybe they are jealous of other people's success or constantly comparing themselves to others and feeling like they are falling short. Five of Wands can show someone who is fighting for recognition or validation, but doing it in ways that actually work against them. They might be trying too hard to prove themselves or show everyone they are doing fine, but it comes across as desperate or insecure. There is also this sense with Five of Wands that this person has multiple conflicts or problems happening at the same time, and they do not know how to manage it all. It is like putting out one fire only to have two more start up. They might be struggling with work issues while also having relationship problems, while also dealing with financial stress, while also having conflicts with friends or family. Everything feels like an uphill battle for them right now, and honestly, a lot of it is because of the energy they are putting out into the world. Moving to the fourth card, which is Ten of Wands, and I have to say, Taurus, this card really emphasizes how overwhelmed and burdened this person is feeling right now. Ten of Wands shows someone who is carrying way too much weight on their shoulders and is close to the breaking point. This person has taken on more than they can handle, or they are dealing with the consequences of their past choices, and it is all becoming too much. I am seeing someone who might be working extremely hard but not getting the results they want. Maybe they are working long hours or juggling multiple responsibilities but still struggling to make ends meet. Ten of Wands can indicate financial burdens and stress about money. This person might be dealing with debt or expenses they cannot really afford, or they could be in a situation where they are living beyond their means and it is catching up with them. There is a very real possibility that this person is facing some kind of financial crisis or instability. What really stands out about Ten of Wands in this reading is the sense of having no support system. This is someone who is doing everything alone because they have burned bridges with people who used to care about them. You know how the devil showed us they are stuck in toxic patterns and the moon showed us they are living in illusion and denial? Well, Ten of Wands is showing us the result of all that. The result is exhaustion, stress, burden, and isolation. They pushed away the good people in their life, including you, and now they are struggling without that support network. Ten of Wands also suggests that this person might be clinging to things they should let go of. Maybe they are holding on to a living situation that is too expensive, or a job that is draining them, or relationships that are actually making their life harder, not easier. They cannot see that they would be better off releasing some of these burdens and starting fresh. Instead, they just keep pushing forward, carrying all this weight and getting more and more tired and stressed. I feel like this person is on the verge of some kind of breakdown or breaking point, where they simply cannot continue the way they have been going. The fifth card is Page of Pentacles, and this is actually quite interesting in the context of this reading. Page of Pentacles usually represents new beginnings in the material world, learning and building something from the ground up. But in this case, I am reading it as showing where this person is actually at right now in their life. And Taurus, it is not where they want to be or where they pretend to be. Page of Pentacles can indicate someone who is at the very beginning stages of building stability and security. This is the energy of someone who is starting over whether they want to admit it or not. Despite whatever image they might be projecting, this person is actually in a position where they are struggling with the basics. They might be dealing with entry-level problems or having to rebuild their life in ways they did not expect at this stage. There is something humbling about their current circumstances. I am also getting that Page of Pentacles can show someone who is inexperienced or naive about practical matters. This person might not be very good with managing money or making responsible decisions about their resources. They could be someone who spends impulsively or does not plan for the future or makes poor choices when it comes to work and career. The Page energy is immature in the Suit of Pentacles, which is all about material security and practical matters. So this person might still be acting like they can just wing it or like things will magically work out without them having to put in real effort or make real changes. What is significant about Page of Pentacles appearing in this reading about someone's downfall is that it shows they are basically back at square one. Whatever they built or had before is gone or unstable now. They might have had a certain lifestyle or status before, but they are having to start over and they are not handling it well because they lack the maturity and skills to actually build something solid and lasting. They are still making the same mistakes they made before because they have not learned the lessons they needed to learn. Now, the final card that came through is the Hermit and Taurus. This card is really sealing the message about where this person is headed. The Hermit represents isolation, withdrawal, being alone, and sometimes loneliness. This is showing me that this person is going to end up very much alone if they have not already reached that point. The combination of all these cards paints a picture of someone whose toxic patterns and refusal to change have led them to a place where nobody wants to be around them anymore. The Hermit can be a positive card when it represents someone choosing solitude for spiritual growth and reflection. But in this reading, with all the other cards we have seen, this is not a choice. This is the natural consequence of how this person has been living their life and treating people. They are going to find themselves isolated because they have pushed everyone away. Friends get tired of the drama. Family gets tired of being used or manipulated. New romantic interests figure out who this person really is and leave. Eventually, this person is going to be standing alone, wondering why nobody wants to be in their life anymore, but not taking accountability for how they created this situation. I am getting very strongly that this person is going to have a period of forced isolation where they have to face themselves and their choices. The Hermit carries a lantern, which symbolizes looking inward and examining your own truth. This person is going to have no choice but to look at themselves because there will be nobody else around to distract them or enable them or reflect back a false image. It is actually what they need, even though it will be painful. Sometimes we have to lose everything to wake up and realize we need to change. The Hermit at the end of this reading also suggests to me that this person might end up in a very solitary living situation. Remember how the theme mentions someone being on the streets or having nowhere to go? The Hermit combined with the Ten of Wands burden and the Page of Pentacles. Starting over energy tells me this person could genuinely be facing housing instability or having to rely on the kindness of others for a place to stay. They might have to move back in with family or crash with friends temporarily or find themselves in a situation that is very humbling and isolated compared to how they were living before. What I want you to understand, Taurus, is that this reading is not about you needing to feel sorry for this person or reaching out to help them. The cards are showing you this information so you can have clarity about why you needed to walk away from this connection and why it is important that you stay away. This person is going through what they are going through because of their own choices and actions. You cannot save someone who does not want to save themselves. You cannot fix someone who refuses to acknowledge they are broken. If this person has been trying to reach out to you, or if you have been wondering about them or feeling any guilt about how things ended, between you, I want you to see from these cards that you made the right decision. The universe is confirming for you that this person is still in their toxic patterns. They are still living in denial and illusion. They are still creating conflict wherever they go. They are overwhelmed and burdened by their own choices. They are basically starting over whether they admit it or not. And they are heading toward a very isolated and lonely place if they do not wake up and make real changes. You have been healing and growing and moving forward with your life, Taurus. You have been building your own stability and surrounding yourself with better energy. The contrast between where you are and where this person is could not be more clear. The cards are validating your decision to release this connection, and they are encouraging you to continue focusing on your own path without looking back. So there you have it, Taurus. 6 cards that tell a very complete story about someone from your past who is definitely not living their best life right now, despite whatever they might be showing to the world. The Devil, the Moon, 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Hermit all came together to show you exactly what is happening with this person and why you do not need them in your life anymore. Trust what you are feeling. Trust your decision to walk away. Trust that you deserve so much better than the toxicity and drama this person brought into your world. Keep moving forward and let them figure out their own lessons on their own time.